na na. Na 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 na. Start a fade away. You'll be alright.
Where is Mr. Let's Go Chat? Shannon the Cannon Briggs making a comeback at 53 years of age. And let me counterpunch. I follow Shannon on Instagram. And he still has all his faculties. I mean, there's no real signs of damage, injury, punch drunk, none of that. I don't see any bad signs for Shannon the Cannon, and he actually looks pretty good. I do question, what does he do? I know he eats very well. You know what I mean? If you look at Shannon the Cannon's overall diet, he boasts on what he eats all the time, and he's not as fast as he used to be naturally, but he still, I think, has a shot. I think, depending on who they put him in there with, he can do quite well. Will he become heavyweight champion? I think that's a totally different question. But to make his comeback, he just recently called out Deontay Wilder. And, Deontay Wilder and Shannon the Cannon, they've been at each other before. If you guys can remember, Shannon the Cannon was, quite a spark plug, when it came to his passion about putting hands on Deontay Wilder. So, Shannon, I would expect nothing more than him to make a comeback, an announcement that he's coming back to the sport at 53 years of age. I remember George Foreman, God bless the dead, wanted to do it at age 55. But of course, he is the oldest heavyweight ever. Okay, the oldest champion is Bernard Hopkins. So if you guys don't know that, now you do. But nonetheless, I think that Shannon the Cannon, I think he, could, I think if you're going to do it right. I think what would be best for Shannon would probably be fighting someone close to his own age. Hey, throw him in there with Luis Ortiz, or better yet, how about Ike Ibeabuchi? How about that fight? Shannon the Cannon versus Ike Ibeabuchi. They've been trying to set Ibeabuchi up with guys like Tommy Morrison's son, which is 20 years younger, and stuff like that, which I think is a straight setup. But Shannon the Cannon, I think, with a couple tune-up fights, and Ike, a couple tune-up fights, these guys could have fought once upon a time because they're in the same age bracket. Ike Ibeabuchi's 52. Shannon the Cannon's 53, December 14th. Okay, so yeah, they're on up there. And I think what would be fair is these guys fight people their own age. You know what I mean? Instead of, these young whippersnappers or whatever, sure, some of these, way down the rank guys, sure, you could put them in there with them, but, you might have a fight of a lifetime on your hands, dealing with someone 27, 32, and you're 53. That could be wrong. Again, it's all about the matchmaking with Shannon the Cannon. One thing I can say about Shannon the Cannon is he's another self-promoting fighter. Let's go, champ! He is that guy that hypes fights. He's the hype guy. And he could still fight. You don't want to mess with Shannon the Cannon out in the street somewhere. Don't piss him off, because he will. Let's go, champ! In your face. But him coming back, I say, why not? I mean, I would be opposed to it if I seen any damage that he's taken, from the Vladimir Klitschko fight or the Lennox Lewis fight, or, a lot of these fights that he fought, and he sounds a little slow or punch drunk or, not at himself. Boxing didn't really beat him up as far as I can tell, by listening to him speak, so, I approve it. Let's go, champ. Let's see Shannon the Cannon back into the ring. You guys tell me what you think of him returning to the sport. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.